Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video I'll be reviewing the Toyota BZ4X. Before we get into this video though, as always, link to my car buying guide in the description down below. Let's get into it. Powering this is a dual electric motor setup paired to a 71.4 kilowatt hour battery pack. Range is 222 miles, with the power outputs on this model being 214 horsepower. Before we move forward with this review, I do want to mention if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. So taking a look at the hood, you guys can see pretty sharp there with the lines on either side, and this is interesting. It's like blacked out at the top. And then I think the headlight design is pretty cool. Overall, it's very sharp looking. Look at that. I think that's pretty fun. And this is interesting with that side piece there. It's at the bottom as well. But yeah, overall, funky. Toyota kind of does funky though sometimes. Now around the side here, our steering wheel setup is 235 by 50 by 20 in the front and over in the rear. And you can see with the wheels, you got the silver there with the darker elements mixed in. And then yeah, look at that fender flare. That is so funky looking. See the rest of the trim here on the side. And then notice how this is like all blacked out, but then you got some silver trim at the top. Very interesting. And here's the side profile with the BZ4X. Yeah, those fender flares, they pop out. And this leads us to the key fob. There we go. We've got a lock and unlock function, opening for the hatch, and then hold for the AC. It's an electric car thing because you don't have like a true remote start. Now taking a look at the cargo area, not too bad. This is just the bag that has the charging cable and all of that. I've got that plugged in right now. Like it says BZ4X there, Toyota on the other side. That's pretty funky. Underneath here we do have a little bit of storage, so definitely a nice thing to have. But yeah, overall pretty practical. When you're all done, just press this and that will lower the hatch right back down. Pretty cool taillight design. You can see the limited badge, BZ4X there on the other side. If you take a few steps back, it's kind of like the rest of the rear. Interesting there with the design at the top of the roof. Now taking a look at the door panel, you can see soft touch here at the top and then at the bottom as well. And this is pretty cool with that trim. And here are these seats, perforated all down the center portion. Pop in quickly. Oof. And legroom's pretty good. Got a little storage pocket. USB ports here. We've got heated seats, some vents on top of that. And then headroom back here is decent. There is a sunroof though. I feel like that kind of gets in the way a little bit. Now taking a look at the front door panel, you can see again with the soft touch trim. All of our window controls here. Mirror adjustment. Blind spot monitoring with the mirrors. Then here's the front seat. Perforated all down the center portion. All of our adjustments on the side. See the opening for the hatch. This is cool. This trim. Now taking a look at the steering wheel, it kind of reminds me of the Prius steering wheel quite a bit. With it's kind of like squared design here in the center. We got practical stuff like the adaptive cruise control, which actually works pretty well. I used this for a commute yesterday, actually, and it was pretty solid. And then we actually have the gauge cluster again, very Prius-like with this design. You can see we've got 150 miles of range, 71% state of charge, so it gives you the information that you need to see. Pretty good setup. The steering wheel does block it a little bit depending on how you look at it, but I got used to it. 360 camera system in reverse, works great. Fills in underneath the vehicle, so it's a pretty cool system overall. And then infotainment system, it's Toyota's unit they have on other cars. It's quick to respond, so again, easy enough. We've got analog controls here for the climate and then also like volume controls as well. Heated ventilated seats, heated steering wheel as well. Got your power button there. And then this is for your one pedal drive, auto hold, parking brake, transmission selectors. Yeah, I mean, that's just an interesting unit. And then you got your eco mode, X mode. This does obviously share a lot with its Subaru sibling, including the X mode nomenclature, whatever you want to call it. Parking assistance, and then you've got your stability control. So you got this cool little thing that covers up the wireless phone charging pad. You can kind of see through it, which is fun. I don't know if that's going to pop up on camera very well, but in person. Anyways, got some cup holders here, center console, which is nice. Nice trim on the top. See, nice trim on the dash there as well. Just a regular mirror, and then we got another sunroof up front, so it's like double sunroof, but there's like a little one up front and then another little one in the back. So hopefully this shows through kind of well, but this is the window sticker for the BZ4X. Again, this is a limited, and the camera's really struggling to focus, so can I get it to... I don't know if I'm going to be able to get it to focus there. But anyways, total MSRP, $53,800. Is that 80? Yeah, 883. Wow. Anyways, let's see how it drives. Well, that's got to be the most awkward car startup ever. I got into the car and there was a spider on my leg. So anyways, visibility. Throw this through. Now my leg itches. Let's set off. Heading off in the BZ4X. This is, well, solid electric car. I do have some things that I'm not so fond of. Driver inattention. That's one thing I don't like, is it's constantly being a big brother where it's like, you're not paying enough attention. I just have a GoPro on my head. But yeah, it's kind of annoying with those. I kind of worry about that with cars in the future, if like government's going to mandate it where cars have like attention things where they're, you know, going to claim that it's on behalf of safety, but then it's just another way for them to spy on us. Anyways, acceleration. It's an electric car, so you get instant power, instant torque. It's pretty quick. It is pretty quick. You really don't need all that much horsepower for an electric car to feel fast, 0 to 40, 0 to 60. It's once you're above 60 miles an hour that horsepower really matters with electric cars, because then they just kind of taper off. Like this, yeah. You know, again, it's not bad. I didn't ever feel like I was in a situation on the interstate where I really needed more power, but not thrilling, I guess. I don't know. But it's more than enough in my opinion. Suspension's comfortable. Ooh, I forgot to mention there's this big storage space underneath the center console. There's storage area. I always forget about the storage areas when I do my reviews, but there is storage there, so that's positive. So let's get into things I don't like. The styling is really weird, but it's kind of electric cars. You know, I'll be excited once electric cars have more normal design cues. There's some that do, like Rivian, you know, they kind of did like a more, you know, old school boxy design with those, but still, I'll be excited for that. It's weird they all have to look futuristic. And then the real big thing is the range. It is just awful. I don't understand why any automaker thinks that it's okay to release an electric car with less than 300 miles of range. I'm serious. Like, I don't think that there's any point, especially with the huge backlash we've seen against electric cars this year, where the market on electric cars, I wouldn't say it's crashing, but it's one of the few market segments that is receding when the rest of the market's increasing in terms of overall sales volume and everything. So yeah, I just don't know. I don't know what they were thinking with that. And any automaker that does cars with less than 300 range, because at that point, like my commute yesterday, I filmed in Layton, and I basically went through the whole battery. Just imagine, like, you're doing so that commute was 180 miles total. So I know that's like bigger than a lot of people's commutes, but still, in most ICE cars, you get at least 300, if not 400 plus miles of range on a tank. Outside of like high performance sports cars, right? Those are the only cars that usually don't get good range on a full tank of gas. So yeah, it's just, I don't know, I think it's unacceptable for any electric car. And Toyota's not the only one that has an electric car with sub 300 miles. So let me guys think about the BZ4X. Overall, it drives really well, just needs more range. And, you know, Toyota's obviously focusing on hybrids, so we'll see if they even really care to do that, because ultimately they'll sell a billion Camry hybrids and Corolla hybrids and Priuses and all of that and make a ton of money doing that. And so it's kind of like, you know, this is, I don't know, who knows if this is even worthwhile for them. So that's all.